Hi, Mix Recaps again. Today we are going to explain an action comedy film named Snake in the Eagle's Shadow, released in 1978. Before we start, spoiler ahead, watch out and take care. Brief summary of the movie. The Snake Fist Clan is known in the snake style of fighting in Kung Fu. From the past 1,000 years, the Snake Fist Clan has had a rivalry with the Eagle Clan, which is known as Eagle Fighting Style. The one and only mission of the Eagle Clan was to kill each and every single member of Snake Clan, and remove the fighting style of Snake Clan from Kung Fu world. At the start of the movie, one of the last surviving members of the Snake Clan is challenged by Shun Quan, an Eagle Clan master. The two masters started to fight each other, but the Eagle Claw is more powerful than the Snake Fist Clan. Shun Quan vows to kill his opponent and end the Snake Fist's legacy. However, we came to know here that Snake Fist Master, named Pai, is still alive. Shun Quan kills his opponent and goes to search for Pai. On the other hand, Pai is living as a beggar because he was very poor. He hardly earns any money. One day while he is sleeping, someone came inside and horrified him. It turns out that the landlord has brought a thug to evacuate Pai, since he hasn't paid the rent from past few months. They search around the room for money, but find Snake instead. While they are distracted, Pai grabs his bowl and chopsticks and runs outside, but he was attacked by a gang. Pai started to fight with them. The gang members had weapon in their hand, but yet he was able to defend himself. One of the Eagle Claw member, named Su Chen, came to the location and realizes that they just fought against a Snake Fist member, but till then, Pai was able to escape from there. Later, Chen Fu, who was an orphan, was adopted by Kung Fu teacher named Li. Li used to fool innocent students by saying that he is a good Kung Fu master, but deep down, he was an average man. He always abused Chen Fu and tortured him by cleaning the floor and all other things. Chen Fu always wants to learn to fight, but even though he works in a Kung Fu school, he had never got opportunity to train. One morning, Li is resting while the students practice as usual. Chen Fu watches them and tries to copy their movements, forgetting to sweep the floor. Li notices and hits him with a stick to torture him more. He walks around with white powder under his shoes, making him clean the floor again. Later, Li uses Chen Fu as a scapegoat to teach his students the fighting skills. He orders Chen Fu to not defend himself and beats him as an example. This is not the first time he does this to Chen Fu to make himself look like a Kung Fu expert. Chen Fu is often beaten up, but has no other way to live. The only person who had sympathy with him is the school's cook, and he offers to tend his wounds. On the other hand, Pai reached in front of another Kung Fu school and decides to take a rest. There, a wealthy businessman and his son, named Lop Ban, have come to check if the school is good enough for Lop Ban's admission. The head teacher boasts of his apprentices being the best in town, but Lop Ban is not convinced. He asks a student to break 3 bricks with a single blow. The student does as told and manages to break them all, but as soon as he is out from there, he yells in pain. Moments later, Lop Ban tries to shake his hand and realizes that he was only pretending to be tough. They leave the place to take admission in Li's school. After that, the students see Pai resting outside, and they take their frustration out by beating him up. Pai doesn't defend himself. Chen Fu sees this and stops them from beating old man. When the students attack him, Pai uses his tricks to make Chen Fu fight. He stands behind Chen Fu and pushes him around so that he can dodge the attacks. During the fight, a Russian religious missionary notices Pai and rushes towards him. In reality, he is a spy who has been appointed by Eagle Claw Clan to find and kill the last surviving member of the Snake Clan. Pai notices him and runs away with Chen Fu. Later, Chen Fu brings Pai to the school and makes tea for him. He also asks the old man to stay for the night because he must be injured. Pai is impressed by his kindness. Meanwhile, Lop Ban and his father are in a meeting with Li, who boasts about his training, but Lop Ban doesn't believe him and asks them to break 3 bricks. Li laughs at him, stating that he can show them a real fight instead of it. Then he calls Chen Fu and orders him to get beaten from one of his students. As the fight starts, Lop Ban watches with interest. Chen Fu is beaten up once again, but he cannot defend himself because he has no other choice for living. In the end, Lop Ban is impressed by Chen Fu's skills and agrees to take admission in the school. Chen Fu walks back to Pai with several injuries. Chen Fu runs to his room. The cook tells Pai that this happens daily with him. Then Pai goes to him, he puts a bowl on his head, and asks him to try and get it. Chen Fu does his best, but he even cannot touch the bowl. The next morning, Chen Fu wakes up to see Pai is missing. He notices a message on the wall, which was about some kung fu technique. Outside, Pai draw a pattern of footsteps for Chen Fu to follow and learn the tricks. However, the tricks were about to snake fist technique. Using the steps, Chen Fu somehow understanding what Pai is trying to teach him, and starts practicing. He is a born fighter, and learns the technique very soon. Somewhere else, Pai encounters to the Russian missionary, and follows him to find out his true intentions. However, he soon realizes it is a trap when he meets Su Chen, who stops him and challenges him to a fight. The Russian and Su Chen fought against Pai, but he manages to escape after tricking them. However, he was badly injured. On the other hand, Lop Ban's father comes to the school to check his son's progress. Li asks Chen Fu to take beatings from Lop Ban, once again wanting to use him as a scapegoat. But this time, using Pai's techniques, Chen Fu defends himself. He even makes Lop Ban bump into his father, making both of them fall to the ground. However, Lop Ban and his father left the school. Li was very angry at Chen Fu, and he hits him repeatedly for humiliating him. Chen Fu runs away from the school and meets Pai, who was injured. He takes him to a shed and tends his wounds. Somewhere else, Su Chen meets the higher official of the Eagle Claw clan, Sheng Quan, and tells him everything about Pai. On the other hand, Chen Fu was taking care of Pai until he gets better. Pai notices that Chen Fu was able to learn the technique only through the drawings. Pai decided to train him snake style of kung fu. The old man has some condition, as Chen Fu would not call him master, and he would not make violence through his training, and also that he won't interfere when Pai is fighting his opponents. Chen Fu accepts all the conditions and starts the training. He works hard and learns the techniques very soon. Pai gives him more difficult tasks, but he passes through all. One day, he was sweeping the floor in the school, then Li sees him and decides to trouble him like before. He steps on white powder, but before he can step on the floor, Chen Fu slides the mop under his feet. Li tries his best to trouble Chen Fu, but he is quick enough because of the training. Then a group from the rival school came in. The leader of the group is the new champion in Kung Fu. He is furious because all other schools in the town sent him gifts to show respect, but Li didn't do so. So, he challenges Li and his fellow teacher to a fight match. Li was afraid, but all his students are watching. He has no other way than accept the challenge. The champion doesn't waste time before beating them both, proving that they are just a bunch of frauds who only know basic knowledge about Kung Fu. Chen Fu wants to help them, but since he has promised his master that he will not involve in any kind of violence, he stays out of the fight. After the two are defeated, the students left the school and went with champion. Later that day, Chen Fu is cleaning the floor when the former teacher of the school, named Master Hang, returns the school from city. Master Hang used to be the head teacher until Li took over the burden of school. When he sees no one in the school, he asks from Chen Fu, who told him the whole story. Angered, he went to the rival school and challenges the state champion. The state champion accepted the challenge, and they get into an intense fight. Both were best in their skills, but in the end, the state champion beats Master Hang, and was continue beating him. Chen Fu finally interfere, and the champion angered even more. He attacks at him, asking him to fight back. Chen Fu also start to fight. He started to continue beat state champion. Everyone is shocked to see that a floor cleaner is defeating the state champion. Master Hang is also surprised, because he didn't know Chen Fu can fight. From the entrance door, Sheng Quan is also watching them. He sees Chen Fu's technique, and recognizes it as the snake fist technique. Since only one person from the clan is alive, he is sure that Chen Fu knows Pai. After defeating the champion, Chen Fu and Master Hang return to their school. At home, Chen Fu finds a letter, which was sent by Pai. In letter, he says he will be gone for a few days. Alongside the letter, there is a book on snake-style fighting. Chen Fu runs towards the shed to see Pai, but the old man has already left. Just then, Sheng Quan, who is after him, finds out that he knows Pai. When Chen Fu asks him, "Who's he?" Sheng Quan lies that he is a friend of Pai, and asks Chen Fu to tell him when he returns from his trip. He also tells him to keep his arrival a secret from Pai, because he wants to surprise his old friend. Chen Fu believes at him, and agrees to help him. When he reached home, he sees his pet cat was fighting a snake. At first, the snake looks more dangerous, but it was proven to be weak against the cat's paws. This gives Chen Fu an idea to mix the paw technique with the snake fist technique to make a more dangerous kung fu style. On the other hand, Pai returns to the town and is immediately confronted by Su Chen. At first, Su Chen pretends to be dead and attacks him with a knife. He believes that Pai was stabbed, but it turns out that he was ready to defend the attack. They get into a fight, where Pai overpowers him and kills him. Then he goes to meet Chen Fu, who was happy to see him back. They ask for tea, but the man mixes poison in it. Just then, Chen Fu remembers Sheng Quan, and goes to tell him about Pai's arrival. But when they return, Pai has already gone. Sheng Quan says where he is going, and runs after him, as Chen Fu follows him. On his way, Chen Fu is stopped by the Russian missionary, who wants to kill him. They involved into a fight. The missionary had a sword, and he torn the cloth of Chen Fu. But in the end, Chen Fu still manages to defeat him. Somewhere else, Pai meets Sheng Quan. He has had enough of running, and wants to fight, to end an old rivalry between their clans. They began to fight, and both were looking marvelous in their fighting style. But Sheng proven to be powerful, and was about to kill him, but Chen Fu stops them. To save his master, he asks Sheng Quan to fight him. Pai tries to stop Chen Fu, knowing that he is not trained enough to defeat Sheng Quan, but he was eager to fight with him. They attack each other, and Chen Fu scratched the face of Sheng Quan. By the mixture of snake and cat technique, he creates a new deadly technique. He defeats the Sheng Quan very soon. When Pai and Chen Fu were about to leave, Cook approaches them, and tries to stab Chen Fu. Pai stops him, and asks why he is doing this. And it turns out that he is also a spy from the Eagle Claw clan. He laughs, knowing that they are about to die of the poison, which he gave them earlier, but Chen Fu reveals that he had exchanged the tea because it was too hot. In the final scene, the cook remembers that he drank the poison tea. The poison starts to affect, and he dies instantly. In the last scene, Pai was praising Chen Fu for inventing such a new powerful kung fu technique. From here, the film ends. Guys, thanks for visit. We will be back with another masterpiece. Until then, take care.